Yeah, I mean, going with Caleb, I'll just move away from Penix because he didn't play, but Caleb Williams, fun stuff. I thought he got off to a slow start, but then you could see the cool stuff with him, the accuracy, the throwing out structure. I mean, the red zone sequence was insane. Some negatives were, once in a while he'll turn down some stuff over the middle. Like he'll progress and he feels like he can't get to 3, and that's like even the break contain play that he threw to Roman Dunze, that was awesome. Enough people tweeted it that I didn't, but it honestly looked like the bullet from Wanted. Did you ever see that movie?
No,
like where
I know what you're talking about. Like
the curve of the bullet. It really looked like that because of how he was throwing left, and it was just cool little physics moment. But he understands that stuff, so it's like little things with him are really fun. Any Caleb thoughts? Any Bears thoughts? Anything from that game?
I thought what was interesting was I think you have to take the whole the throw within the context of like what else happened in that game. But I still think that it's also encouraging because you're going to run into spots where Caleb's a rookie and Rome Odunze is a rookie and they're still, kind of building up this offensive line where you have moments where it starts to sputter and it doesn't look clean every single play. But the thing is, like, you can get out of it because Caleb can do that. He can go throw a 50-yard dime running on the wrong side. And, he's capable of doing something like that, like maybe once or twice a game. So as you try to get used to the NFL and try to get used to, the rigors of being a professional football player, like the plays that can get you back on schedule when you're way off schedule, which is kind of how they started that game. But all of a sudden, here comes the 50-yard pass. I think that was really encouraging because you're still going to need those plays. Because I don't. As good as Caleb is, look, it's not fair to just come out and say, yeah, he's going to come out and be like top 5 in success rate, and they're going to be moving the ball.
Right.
No,
there's going to be some bad moments. Yeah,
there's going to be some really, really bad moments.
Yep.
But the fact is, he can still go put it on the money 50 yards down the field. And we saw the stuff in the Bills game. So, like that playmaking ability, I think the fact that it keeps coming up is really, really encouraging.
You want flashes that they can move the needle, which that play was. And then you want, of course, I know this sounds obvious, but just kind of spelling it out. It doesn't have to be the entire game. You just want stretches of consistency. It doesn't have to be an entire game. Doesn't even have to be an entire half. Just every game. Oh, there's 2 good series. Okay. Where it looks real. It looks like, okay, this is sustainable offense. I always say ecosystem, but that's a good word for it too. But when we're looking at it, this was the other kind of tidbit with it all. I thought that was a great point by you. There's going to be some bad games where he's going to have 2 picks, a fumble where he tries to do too much, and several sacks. The interior of the offensive line, namely the center and the right guard, I'm still a little antsy about. Jenkins looks great at left guard.
Yeah.
He just has to be healthy. And I like the tackles a lot. Darnell Wright is going to be one of the breakout players, spoilers, but he looks great. But he's going to have moments where there's some down slope, but it's just like you said, it's just chasing those flashes that are real flashes. It's not luck. It's good players create their own luck. He is putting it in spots that if you have good teammates like Roman Dunze, they can make plays. And that's exactly what you're chasing with these guys. Jayden Daniels had kind of a nickel dime fest. Yeah. Which is, I think it was more of a, Kliff is back more than anything about Jayden Daniels. We saw the stats out there. Terry McLaurin's lined up on the left, I think 26 out of 27 snaps so far in the preseason. That's what Kliff is, the only guy that will do left and right only receiver splits. It took like forever for him to move DeAndre Hopkins into the slot, and also knows like a revelation in their offense. This is why I get concerned about Kliff, guys. Not a ton of motion. Like a lot of 3x1 sets with ISO routes, and Jayden Daniels can pepper the hell out of those stop routes and hitch routes. Like that's where he shines, is those placing those accuracy, pinning the ball on the chest. That's where he shined. There's just a lot of stuff to the outside. Didn't really get to see much where I'm still the negatives of him. I'm still waiting for him to kind of like prove me wrong on, but that got plenty of snaps in the regular season to see that.
Our friend Steven Ruiz sent us a stat. I think for Jayden's first down throws, he had negative, average depth of target.
Yes,
which is like because I know Commanders fans have gotten angry with us, but like I really don't have an issue with Jayden Daniels.
I don't either.
Like I think when you watch even this weekend, you go back and you watch like all the 1 million like hitches and curls and like short comeback routes that he's throwing, they're all like on the money, perfect. And they're all perfect, like where they need to be. They're coming out on time.
Yep.
But dude, like Kliff, at some point, you're going to have to ask him to do a lot more, or else you're going to be scoring like 10 points a game.
Yeah.
Because it's just not sustainable to come out and play like that.
It's just hard. It's the same issues we have with the Broncos a little bit, but the Broncos like Sean Payton has showed more but it's that when you're relying, this is what defenses want you to do right now. Okay, be hyper efficient. Prove it. All right. We only think 5 quarterbacks in the league can do it. Are you one of those 5? Prove it. And that's so playing into that is not my favorite strategy, to like play into exactly what the defense wants you to do. Like, and I do think the run game will be cool. I even if the line's not great, I see that the opening that Daniels brings with it. I did always think Kliff had some creativity in Arizona with that stuff with Kyler and some stuff he did with James Conner. So I do think that will benefit. That's where most of the throws came on too, where they're bubbles attached with the runs. I mean, we're going to see a million of those. And why it was such a like, oh yeah, Kliff is back because that's gotten weaned out of the NFL. Like people still do bubbles, but not as much as they used to because defenses are really good against them now. They know what we're going to bring in slot pressure. You're going to throw the bubble. The safety screams downhill and just, it's a new game, Kliff. So yeah, that's where I think it's more of a Kliff. Question marks are still out there. Daniels is going to be smart. All these guys too, I want to mention this. So I'm not too like, all these young quarterbacks are handling the offenses really well. All the pre-snap stuff's really good. That I will say, I will commend every single one of these guys, even guys I'm maybe a little lower on or offenses I'm a little lower on. I will commend them that they're handling some stuff, which is cool. Daniels included.